I helped this brand new agent close 87 deals in his first year, resulting in over $1 million in commission entirely free from YouTube. And I'm gonna break down the exact 4 things that he did in order to achieve massive success so that you can replicate this in your own market. But I'm also going to share 2 nuances. Number 1 being things that you would never know about how he achieved that success unless you've actually worked with him. And number 2, at the end of this video, I'm actually going to pull up my iPad and walk you through the YouTube algorithm, how Soomin Kim cracked it, and how you can too in order to help your videos perform better. Now, before diving into Soomin's incredible journey and exactly what he did to basically print millions in commission over the last few years, I want to let you know that I do have an entire free 90-minute YouTube masterclass where I not only break down everything that you need to know about creating and launching a 6-figure YouTube channel, but I actually give you the exact prompts that will take care of all of the ideation, give you the exact videos you need to record, and how to optimize your videos in order to rank number 1. So if you would like that brand new training, it is entirely free. Just comment YouTube training below and I'll make sure that I get that over to you. But now let's dive into Soomin's story. But before I do, I want to give you a bit of a backstory because again, this is not somebody that has experience with recording videos before. He's a new agent who just moved to a new market that has no experience recording videos on YouTube, and he had no expensive equipment. All that he used was his iPhone. So this is critical because it's important to just get started with what you have now. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need to be comfortable in front of the camera. You just have to do something, and that's exactly what he did. But now let's break down the 4 things he did, and at the end of the video, I'm even going to break down how he cracked the algorithm and how you can as well. So now let's explore Soomin Kim's YouTube channel and share with you exactly what he did. The first thing is that he created a relatable story. And I'm gonna show this to you because this is critical for the foundation that he built in order to get massive results from his content. So we're going to his videos, but we're going to go to oldest so that you not just see what he's doing now, but you actually understand how he built a foundation and how you can too. So Soomin is now known for property tours, but it didn't start that way. And if we come over here, you can see that the very first video that he did with almost 40,000 views, which is this video right here, was him explaining why he moved to Austin, Texas. Not why you should move to Austin, Texas, but rather why he did it. And this is really critical because Soomin, to remove another excuse for most people that say they don't have time, Soomin is a father of 3 young kids and he's got a wife. So he's balancing a lot, but that also makes him very relatable to other families that are looking to relocate to Austin. So he didn't start with property tours, which is now what he's recognized for. He started with sharing a relatable story as to why he made a move. And this is really critical if you have moved to your market at some point, because that's going to allow people to connect with you on a deeper level, knowing that you understand some of the pains, the struggles, the fears that they might be facing when looking to not only relocate themselves, but also their family to Austin, Texas, or whatever market that you might happen to be in. Now, Soomin also did something really unique, and I've never seen anybody else do this, but I think this is one of the reasons why he is so successful. So this first video would have been based on his initial thoughts as to why he made the move. But here's where things get interesting. That is just why you decided to make the move. What about how is it actually like to live there? So if we come down a little bit further, what we're going to see is a really critical video that Soomin ended up doing, which is right here with almost 80,000 views. And what he did is he did a 1-year review of what it's been like to actually live in Austin, Texas. And the really unique thing that he did is he actually brought his wife into this video so that he could share his experience as a realtor and building his business in a new market and what it's been like to live there. but having the dynamic of the feminine and masculine and having his wife's perspective as well as his really allowed other people to connect with them on a much deeper level, so that whether you prefer to receive information from a male or a female or different personality types, they were able to cover both of that. So if you're in a market where you moved there, don't only explain why you moved there, but explain what it's been like to actually live there. So the critical thing, number one, that Soomin did was he shared a very relatable story. Now, the second thing that he did was that he identified a niche. And this is really important. If we go back to the start of Soomin's channel, we can see that he actually did a number of different styles of video. And I always recommend this because what gets measured gets managed. We need to get data in order to make an informed decision as to what type of content we should lean into. So as you can see here, we have the video as to why he moved to Austin, Texas from California. We have another video talking about a community review, which is a different topic. We have another video talking about a property, different type of content. We have some home tours. We have some new builds. We also have a couple things about owning rental properties in downtown Austin. But what you'll see is that the videos that started taking off as we scroll down here were actually his property tours. And there's some that ends up getting hundreds of thousands of views as we go on a little bit further here. So as he started to test different content, he found his niche. He didn't know it straight out the gate. He identified it based on the data, which is really critical. Now, one of the things Soomin also did to identify this niche was being very aware of the market that he's in and the opportunities at hand. So with Austin developing a ton of new construction, he decided to tour new construction properties, realizing how many people were relocating there, and he decided to capitalize on that. So the second thing that Soomin did really well was test different styles of content, relocation focused, community tours, as well as property tours. And after putting out content, he realized that the property tours not only were performing the best, but that's also because it was the biggest opportunity in his market center that he could capitalize on. Now, the third thing that Soomin did incredibly well was once he found his niche, he mastered it. So let me break down the 4 things that you need to do if you want to master and dominate a niche. The first thing is branding. Soomin actually worked with my company, High Converting Content, and if you would like to know more about that, you can check the link in the description. But we did a full brand overhaul for him in order to position him, as we can see up here, as a credible authority and position him as the go-to expert for new construction in the Austin real estate market. So he decided to be very well branded. He has an incredible video introduction, and he also is consistent across all platforms, and every single little thing that you'll see Soomin does is hyper consistent with his branding. So all the client gifts are branded. All of the things that he even has wet wipes in his Tesla that he has for cleaning his hands that are branded wet wipe packages. Everything. I even have a hoodie upstairs in my closet and a hat that is branded with Soomin's branding. Everything that he touches is branded towards him. So he stands out, he's consistent, and you really could tell that he cares about the quality of his work. The second thing that he did incredibly well was his mindset. This is so essential. When I sat down with Soomin in December of 2020, talking about launching his YouTube channel with zero experience, the thing that set Soomin apart was that he never asked, how long will it take for me to get business if I follow your blueprint? He never asked, when am I going to get results? How long will it take? He never asked if I need the best equipment before I get started or any of these questions. Soomin did a couple things really well. Number one, he embraced delayed gratification, realizing that if I've helped thousands of other agents see success on YouTube and he follows the blueprint, that it's not a matter of if he's going to see success, it's a matter of when he's going to see success. Now, the second thing he did really well was he was incredibly disciplined. you can see that he has been so consistent across the board since 2020 when he launched his brand new YouTube channel. And this has helped him build momentum, but also be very visible in front of his target audience. And the third thing that he did incredibly well was that he never made a single excuse. He never rested on the fact that he's got 3 young kids and a wife, and he just moved to that market, and that he doesn't have time. I have personally seen him editing videos at 3 in the morning, and I'll get to that, in order to get the job done, to be first when it comes to uploading a property tour of a new construction home so that he would get all the traffic. I've never seen him make an excuse about only being able to use an iPhone in order to just get the job done quickly, or to edit his own videos and design his own thumbnails. He has never made a single excuse as to why he can't do something, but rather he realized the opportunity, went all in, and decided to make it happen. The third thing that he did in order to master his niche was he treated it like a full-time job. One of the biggest things I see agents do when it comes to YouTube is that they want full-time results like Soomin, in terms of getting 100% of your deals from YouTube with no ad spend, no prospecting, none of that. But then they just want to put 4 hours a week into it. So they're putting less than part-time effort into it, but they want full-time results. Soomin mastered this by treating it like a full-time job, realizing if you want full-time income from some sort of activity, you have to put full-time effort into that activity. So going back to seeing at times Soomin filming videos at 7 p.m., having to miss family dinner, but then editing the video at 3 a.m. to get it up in the morning the next day to be the first person to upload a property tour of that new floor plan that is hot and everybody's gonna be interested in. That's the level he has gone to, because he realized the opportunity at hand and wanted to be the best at it. So he continued to make this a priority, and I've seen him put 12 hours into a single day of recording back to back to back to back new construction property tours in order to just continue to stay in momentum. So it's really critical to understand that if you want full-time income from YouTube, for example, you have to go all in and put full-time effort into it. I've never seen somebody dabble and then end up printing commission like he has, where he's now done over $5 million in commission from his YouTube channel. And the last thing, which we briefly spoke about, that he did in order to master his niche, before I actually show you how to crack the algorithm and how he did it, was that he was hyper consistent. He every single week was putting up home tours. He never missed a week, he never missed a beat, and he made this a priority. The truth is, whatever agents say that they don't have time to do YouTube, that is just a massive excuse, because you will always make time for your priorities. And if you're not consistent, it's because you have not made it a priority. But Soomin understood very early on how this could change his life and his family's life. And now he's been able to coach hundreds of other agents just like you in order to see this success. And he wanted to make that happen. Now, that's also a really important thing to mention before I show you how to crack the YouTube algorithm, which is that Soomin does personally mentor other agents just like you in order to see massive success with their YouTube channels. And if you would like to have a private one-on-one Zoom call with him, just click the link in the description. You can book that call, chat with him about what that looks like, and see if both him and I can work together in order to help you build a 6- or even 7-figure YouTube channel. Okay, so now let's walk through how to crack the YouTube algorithm, how Soomin did it, and how you can as well. Because once you understand this, it's really not that difficult, but it is a science. Now, there's 2 critical things that go into helping a YouTube video perform. The first is going to be click-through rate, or CTR, which is how many people decide to click on your YouTube video. The second component of the YouTube algorithm is going to be watch time. And this is the percentage of your video that people watch. And if you have more people clicking on your YouTube video and people watching more of it, then that shows YouTube people are loving this video, and they're going to promote that video to a wider audience, helping you get thousands of views. But I'm also going to talk to you about how to turn those views into leads. So let's talk first about click-through rate. How do you get more people to click on your YouTube videos? Well, there's 2 components to that, which is going to be your thumbnail and your title. Those are the two things that people will look at in order to decide whether or not to click on your YouTube video. Well, how do we help perform better in order to get more people to click on your YouTube video? Well, there's two simple components to this, and this is an activity that I always go through. So let's say this video was about moving to Austin. I'm actually going to type that into YouTube, and what you're going to see is you're going to see all these other videos with a thumbnail and a title like this as the search results. And this one is currently ranking number 1, this is ranking number 2, and this is ranking number 3. Very simple activity. All that you need to do when designing your thumbnail and writing your title is, number 1, make sure it's very searchable and literal in order to make sure that it lends itself to SEO or search engine optimization using keywords that people would be searching on Google or YouTube. But with the thumbnail, all that you need to do is you need to make sure that it stands out compared to the rest. So if you're designing it on Canva or outsourcing it to something like Fiverr, then what I do is I take a screenshot of my thumbnail and I'll place it beside this one, beside this one, and beside this one, and genuinely ask myself, if I didn't know who I was, would I click on mine or this one? Would I click on mine or the second one? Would I click on mine or the third one? And if you can get to the point where you would genuinely, unbiasedly click on your thumbnail and title compared to the other ones that are currently ranking, your video is going to perform. Very simple in order to increase your, as we can see here, get better with your click-through rate. But now, how do we increase watch time, which is the number 1 component of the YouTube algorithm, and how do we turn views into leads? Well, when it comes to increasing your watch time, if this is the timeline of a YouTube video, and we're starting here at 0, and then we've got maybe 15 minutes long, well, there's 2 critical things that you need to do. The first one is going to be the first 30 seconds, and then the next one is going to be at the 1-minute mark. Now, when we look at a retention curve of YouTube, the majority of people are going to be watching the video at the first 30-second mark. So knowing that, what we need to do, if we want to get the highest amount of percentage of our video watched, we need to spend the first 30 seconds, or ideally the first 15 seconds, on a hook. This is the most essential part of a YouTube video's performance. That is going to hook people in order to watch the rest of your video. So this is not starting out something basic like, hey, it's Mike Sherrard with eXp Realty, and if you would like to know more about the Austin market, check out this video. This is grabbing attention immediately. So if you can hook people, that's gonna keep people for the rest of your video. Now let's talk about how to turn views into leads. And if we come back to the other portion of a YouTube video, we have your description. And knowing that we have the description, where a lot of people go wrong in this second 30 seconds is they ask people to like, comment, and subscribe. But my question to you is, would you rather have likes, comments, and subscriptions, or leads, conversations, and closed deals? I think it's a rhetorical question. Knowing that, after you hook people in the first 30 seconds, you need to do a strong call to action, which Soomin does in every one of his YouTube videos, and says something like, if you're considering moving to the Austin real estate market, I help people just like you every week who reach out to me, and I would love to have a private conversation with you about your real estate needs and if I can do anything to help you with your next move. If you would like to get in touch, feel free to, and you'll put over the screen his phone number, contact me here, or you can also feel free to click any of the links in the description. And the links in the description are going to be his phone number, his email, and his Calendly. And sometimes, if you really want to go to the next level, you will have a lead magnet, like a relocation guide, home buyer's guide, seller's guide, or a local lifestyle guide. So that's basically how you crack the YouTube algorithm, which is you need to focus a lot of time on your thumbnail and your title in order to get people to actually click on your video. Because you could have the best video on the planet, and if nobody clicks on it, nobody's gonna watch it. So priority 1 is thumbnail and title. Priority 2 is gamifying the watch time with this hook like we talked about right here in the first 30 seconds. That is something that you should write out in detail and script every single time. Now, after you do that incredible call to action, that's where you then want to spend a bit of time writing out your call to action in order to call the right action, which is not subscribers, it's actually leads. Now, if you have any questions about everything that I walked through, feel free to drop a comment below. And if you did like this video, let me know. I'm more than happy to do more of them, but hopefully this gives you some insight as to how Soomin did $5 million in commission, over $200 million in volume in his first 3.5 years, but more importantly, how you can do the same.